Hello and welcome to VollGazzRacing Season 2, Round 11 for Division 2 here at Misano World Circuit Marco Simicelli in San Marino. And Ropey is the first person to leave the box. So, currently we have no roll. He is currently having Wi-Fi issues. So hopefully the now two-time Division 2 champion can join us soon. So Ropey, I've just been informed, does have a long lap penalty to serve in the race. So after lap 1, assuming he's in a good enough position for me to give him the penalty, he will then take it. The long lap penalty here is in turns 9 and 10 at Tremonto, I believe the corner's called, and it's quite a weird one, a long one. So hopefully it goes okay. It's not the most technical, but it can catch you out. So with Rolls not here, somebody who is looking quite happy about that is Aaron Jacko. He's expressed his not happiness, but what's the right word, his belief to win has increased ever so slightly. He's seen the opportunity, and he knows this is his chance to take his first win of the season after missing out twice at Kazakhstan and Austria in intense last lap battles. Now in the esports race, in the qualifying session, Misano was it was a very strange circuit because simply put, the tyres, no matter what mix of tyres you put on, relatively you got the same result. I opted for, I think it was the hard medium, because it just it was the one that gave me the best feeling across the whole lap. Maybe the soft front was better in the first two sectors, but then by the sector 3 it was overheated. But in the cooler conditions, you might get away with the softer front. So we'll see. Ropey now starts the lap, the number 83. Take a guess what his number is going to be for the race. But I say also, I did say it last week, I believe. Congratulations to MotoGP, who has just gone down somewhere on circuit on his qualification in the Rising Stars, which takes place on the 3rd of November. And currently this is going to be the track where it takes place. I don't know if, I presume the bikes are going to be Moto-E's, because they've obviously done the qualifying sessions, the online challenges on the Moto-E bikes. But we'll have to wait and see. It should be interesting though, who will win that, because it's one of the first times where it's sort of like I have no idea who's actually going to win, because there are quite a few candidates where if fortune favours their way, they will win. But I think definitely interesting race to watch. Anyway, Ropey now is approaching Cavone, the fastest corner on the circuit. Nicely done there. Could have taken a bit tighter, but the first lap you don't want to be taking a lot of risk. And into the Caro hairpin. In Spanish, that can be quite an expensive corner, especially if you crash. Coming up now through into Misano 2, I think this is called. Obviously, this used to be Turn 1 over about 20 years ago. Up to the line now. It's a 29.6. I think Q Gamer might be the next rider. No, it's not. It's Hadif. Hadif up to the line. He has a crash. And he goes second, 4.6 seconds off. Here comes Q Gamer, the most recent race winner. Then we got Costante. Aaron Jacko might be the one coming up to the line now. Let's see. Yeah, up to the line. He goes pole position. Costante up to the line, and he goes into second place. J Davies and Hitstick. J Davies up to the line. He goes fifth. Mr. Hitstick now approaching the final corner on board the Red Bull Cage. Yeah, he's hit the curb and he's gone down that last corner. You can run the curve, but the front is ever so fickle. On lap you can. It's like a really fine art of hitting the right spot. Hadif. Red Sector 1. Again, they're pretty wheeling like it's done for all divisions, all riders, all year. Some strange reason you exit out the corner and the front end of that Aprilia just wants to lift. When I was here, in the qualifying sessions anyway, wheeling wasn't that much of an issue when you had grip. Once the grip had gone, obviously because there's less grip, you get more. It gets a bit harder, and the front end doesn't want to stick to the floor. But Hadif, he's gone down at the hairpin. He's gone down at the Carrow hairpin. He's the first, but he definitely won't be the last one. Mogsy, we know his form in qualifying usually leaves it to the last moment, but the last couple of times he's actually done a decent lap on these, and he's actually within the first 5 or so minutes actually put a lap on the board. So can Mogsy keep this form up? The Welshman, he's had a couple of he's invalidated. He's had a couple of decent runs in the past couple of races. The pace has been there for the podium and fight for the top positions, but still just missing something. Oh, he might have been validated for the next lap as well. No, he's not. He's got away with it. A legendary now, the Frenchman, the former Division 2 champion from Season 5. He's going to end this lap, but I think he's just ended a lap to start one, if that makes any sense. 10 points, yeah, so 10.2. At least he set a lap, so he's not going to start in last place. He's having a massive slide into turn 1. The KTM is one of the most fickle bikes I've ever ridden on this game, and I've only ridden 4. Yeah, it's not surprised to see it making all kinds of shapes on the front end and the rear. The front, as soon as it hit the brakes of the bike, you have no idea what the front or the rear is going to do. As both KTMs have set really poor lap times, obviously suffering crashes or resets in lap times. As we now approach Corintio and Legendary Yosan. I think this is Corintio and Tremonto. I think that I've got that in the right order, but if I haven't, I do apologise. So let's see, Hadif's on an outlap, J Davies is starting an outlap, Ropey is on an outlap, Hugh Gamer is on an invalid lap, but he is going to start his next flying lap. So the Dutchman took victory in Jerez in stunning fashion, pressured, rolled into a mistake, and then controlled the pace from then on. Front end a bit wobbly there as we change direction now into the turn 3. This corner is quite difficult. You've got to manage the gas, you've got to manage the spin, you got to manage everything, and the gearbox can definitely influence how your run is through that corner. As we approach the sector 1 point, and he is down, I'm not quite surprised. He has got a hard front end, so in the braking zones he'll have to be stronger but on the side of the tyre when you need the grip, especially that first sector, you're not going to gain as much as the people who are on soft tyres, because braking is not the most important thing in the world. As Mogsy is improving in the first sector now, and so is Ropey. So Mogsy is the only person yet to set a lap time. That's definitely not the first time I've ever said that. Probably won't be the last. And front wheel planted out of the corner, which is good to see. He's going to get the good drive, and his personal best again into sector 2. Also because he can't say a grey sector, so he's at best at this moment going to be in second place. Runs on the curb. I think that curve's okay. It's one of the few outside curves on this game that you can actually run. Into Cavone now. He's missed the apex a little bit there, but he's got through safe. He's running on the curb as well. Hadif, red sector 1. Aaron Jacka, red sector 1. So 28.8, the benchmark so far into the expensive hairpin. And Mogsy gets through that okay. And Hadif's gone down at turn 9/10. I don't know what point he's lost it, but he's definitely his bike's ended up at 10 anyway. Into the final corner, Mogsy doing that little flick to try and get the rear, stepping out into the braking zone, up using the radar device, up to the line. What's the lap time going to be? It's going to be a 1:28.9, and he goes into 5th place. Aaron Jacko, he's under 1:27 in time trial. What's he going to do on this lap? He said before this race, this is his best chance to win a race. Roll just not here. And just that little bit mental difference is all it takes to go from being second to first. And he extends his lead over the field by setting a 28.4. Hadif, I think, is actually capable of taking pole position here, but he's just making too many mistakes. And he's finished out the lap 4.6 seconds off after a crash at turn 10. He's had a crash in sector 1 as well in his previous lap. So on this next run, Hadif's got to make sure he puts this lap together. As Q Gamer is on a personal best, sector 2. Just needs to find a few hundredths of a second and he'll move into second place. On the curb again, through the hairpin. Really high corner speed, but that has cost him a little bit on the exit, and he's had a bit of a wheelie as well, a lot of wheelie through the penultimate corner, and now into the final corner. And up to the line What's this lap going to be? It's a 10th improvement, and he moves into second place. Mogsy, I think, is going to be boxing yet to the legendary. Where's he? Has he just come out the box? Or is he on the way he's moving? No, he is actually on a lap here. So personal best sector 1 for legendary, but it just doesn't look fast. I notice he's using the ride out device a lot, so obviously it's going to counteract the wheelie, but when you're coming out of these hairpin style corners, that is going to cost you your exit a little bit. And Roll has managed to enter the session, so let's see how Aaron reacts to this. Hopefully he doesn't go all crazy, he just keeps doing what he's doing, because the way I see it, if he keeps doing what he's doing, Roll has got to get through the pack. He's going to start in 10th place, and we just have to wait and see how Rolls progresses, because we know he is prone to a mistake or two. He doesn't make too many of them, but he can do as Jay Davies is in the way of legendary. He's completely butchered legendaries. Yeah, that's so that's cost legendary time. It's not what legendary would have wanted. Mr. Hitstick was on a personal best sector 1, but he's lost the front at turn 8. Roll just left the session, so he is struggling I think he is struggling with Wi-Fi still. Hopefully he doesn't have a problem. He has just joined the party, so if he's going to inform me or anything, but he is joining the session again, so hopefully he can race in the session. Obviously he's going to be a bit of on the back foot. He's not going to have the same warm-up time, and the bike, I don't know how he practices, but hopefully he can get going, and we can have a race for a good battle for the win, because at the moment Aaron Jack has got 8 tenths on the field. Just got to wait and see how it goes. And Jay Davies has been coming. Jay Davies will have a 3-place grid penalty for impeding legendary there in the final sector. Sort of taking the Frankie role of just being a bit in his own world, a bit too relaxed maybe, and not realising that he's in somebody's way. Legendary's a big snap into the final corner. Legendary's only got 2 more laps if he's going enough laps. And there you go, Legendary's gained 4 tenths of a second at minimum in that final sector, and he's lost the front and he's gone down. And we got Constante and that's Mogsy on the laps now, and Mogs has completely blown turn 4, and that's probably going to be his first lap off. So if I was Mogsy, I would turn the power down, make sure you don't overheat the tyres, don't take the wear out of the tyres, and give one more good go at it. As Hitstick once again, personal best sector 1, and he hasn't fallen a cropper to turn 9, oh sorry, turn 8, but he has completely butchered turn 10, and he gets out of the way of Aaron Jacker, who's on another red sector lap. So could this be could he extend his gap to 1 second over the field? We've not really seen that for a long time in this division. It's not normal that somebody has this kind of advantage. Usually it's, last week it was like 5 riders in 1 tenth or 2 tenths for pole position. This time, 8 tenths is quite a considerable margin. Aaron with his mistake in turn 14, hopefully that doesn't cost him lap time as he approaches the final corner, uses the curb up to the line with he's have one more go at it if his tyres let him. Up to the line, he gains another 3 tenths of a second, he's going to take pole position by 1. Oh, Haddie's ruined it for a brief moment there. Aaron Jacko had pole position for over 1 second there, but Haddie closes the gap to 7 tenths of a second. Now Q Gamer is on a lap, running quite wide through turn 8, but he's going to get the better exit. He has quite a wheelie as we now approach the sector 2, pointing roundabout now, and he's lost time in that second sector. So Haddie, he's on his last lap. He was on his last lap, but he's gone down. Aaron Jacko's, but his lap's gone by. I think he'll be more than happy with that last lap he just did. A 28-1, 7 tenths for Haddie. 1.1 seconds ahead of Q Gamer. Constante has been black flagged for some strange reason. Moxie, excuse me, is improving on his lap. Legendary improving as well. Roll just keeps joining and leaving the session. I praise Wi-Fi holds out for the race. And Mogsy, 2 personal best sectors. As we approach Cavone now from the helicopter cam, and he's done that a lot better than the first time we saw him do it. Taking a lot more curve, a lot more speed, a lot tighter, shortening the distance you take through that corner. And it's going to be another personal best sector. And if he just holds, yeah, oh, now he's gone down again at the Caro hairpin. That's the second time he's done that today. As we now go through Mazzano corner for the penultimate time. Nicely done there by Mogsy. He just needs to do this nice and safe into the final corner. Don't lose the front. Don't hit the curb. Oh, he's in Mogsy, oh, that was. I'm pretty sure that was going to be lap good enough for at least to head the second row of the grid at a minimum. But it's going to be Aaron Jacko who takes pole position by 7/10 of a second, from ahead of Sky Deef. Q Gamer 3rd, Ropey 4th, Pitstick 5th, Mogsy 6th, J Davis 7th, Legendary 8th, Constantante. We're going to work out where he actually is. J Davis does have a penalty, so he's going to start 10th, and Rhodes will be 9th. I know that's confusing, but we'll get round it. Give the guys a chance at turn 1, because turn 1 and 2 in real life it has claimed quite a few people in crashes. It was a classic one of like Nicky Hayden, Gianni Depunier, maybe Colin Edwards in 2009. I think there was other 3 riders involved. Definitely Nicky Hayden. I remember now he went flying. Lights are on. And we're off for the practice start as Hadif does a really nice wheelie.
Enjoy a well-deserved lap of honour. Let's take a look at the final results of this race.
Right, so just work out where Constantante is. Might as well just call him Constant. Right, Aaron Jacko, Sky Edith, then it is Q Gamer, then it is Constante, then it is Ropey, then it is Hitstick, then it's then Mogsy, then it was Davies, so it's Legendary. Yeah, that's the grid. Right, let's hope everything goes to plan. Just make double check. That's alright. Yep, right, let's go. So we wait for everybody to ready up. Just waiting on Rolge and Hitstick and Q Gamer, and then we can get going. Just waiting on Hitstick now. Right, let's go.
We're ready for action here at the Misano circuit.
So Aaron Jacko on pole position. Can he claim his first win? Rolge starting from 9th. I'm sure that's the one person that's on his mind the most. If he could just forget that Rolge exists, I'm sure, Aaron, you're more than capable of winning this race. Right, here we go. Lights are on. And we're off. And Q Gamer has had an absolute missile launch off the line into turn 1, and he leads the way. Going into turn 2 now on the flick of change direction. Aaron Jacko holds firm in 2nd place. And then we're going to turn into turn 3. He's going to cut it underneath Q Gamer, and he takes the lead of the race. Back from the start. Now we go into the turn 4. This is where things can go very wrong. For most people, look at that. A lot of this. The hits are really wide. Roll just got himself up to 4th place. Skydeep is in third to the front row of all held position, just in a bit of a different order. As somebody on the curb there, Finals Rolge, it's going to hit the run. It's the 2 KTMs now in 5th and 6th place. Hard on the brakes now into turn 8. Rolge's got a huge amount of closing speed into the hairpin, and he's got really wide. And that is going to allow Mr. Hitstick to move. Sorry, that's Constante who ran wide, I think. So Mr. Hitstick still in the back of Rolge. As Skydeep now moves into 2nd place past Q Gamer. Skydeep's race pace is usually extremely solid. Let's see what he can do to Aaron. Aaron already 5/10 out in front. Q Gamer's run really wide. Oh, and now Legendary's gone down in the background there. Q Gamer retakes position from Rolge at turn 13. And Rolge's going to look up the inside for the exit of turn 14, but he just can't quite get. He's going to go around the outside. He's going to try and cut it up the inside, but that's not going to be able to be done at turn 15. Heading into the final corner. Rolge is going to. Oh, he's got on the. Q Gamer's got on the curb. He don't be doing that. Oh, and Rope is at a huge high side out of the final corner. Big high side for the Repsol Honda rider. We've seen Olivia Loy or somewhat, and people like that have huge high sides out that last corner in real life. And wow, Ropey's virtual ride is definitely going to be winded after that one. Flipping heck. As we go into turn 4 for the 2nd time in this race. Rolge still looking for a way past us. These front 5 have escaped from Costante in 6th place. Rolge getting on the curb there. You'd not be doing that. That's a really high risk. And now we've got Mr. Hitstick using the slipstream, using the KTM power to blast past the Aprilia and move into 4th place. Demoti rolls to 5th. Rolge, just, as said in qualifying, he's just missed that little bit of time where you can just familiarise yourself with the bikes. And Mr. Hitstick has barged his. It looks like his Q-Gamer's gone down. I think Mr. Hitstick might have barged his way past and missed that, unfortunately. But the contact came up, so I'm going to assume that something happened. So I'm just going to give him a reckless riding warning for now. Currently have no information from race direction so far, so keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out to see if anything happens. I won't be surprised if Hitstick does get some sort of penalty. And I've just remembered, I do have to give Ropey a long lap penalty. I will wait for the end of his, right. There we go, Ropey long lap penalty. So, Mr. Hitstick get on the curb, but out front, Aaron Jacko he's setting a good pace, but Skydeep, half a second away still, sets the fastest lap of the race. Skydeep's maintaining the pressure on the Yorkshireman. Hopefully he's had his Yorkshire tea, calm him down. Aaron's been in this position many times before. To go back to Termas on the Suzuki a couple of seasons ago, he did an absolute perfect job. From what I remember there, he just took the lead, controlled the pace, stayed really calm and won the race in really stunning fashion. Hopefully this can be a performance like that this time. Back in the rear end into turn 8. Front end protesting quite a bit, it's run quite wide. And that just allows Skydeep to close in that 10th or so. as Hitstick and Rolls making contact on the exit of turn 8, and Hitstick forcing Rolls to go wide. So Hitstick into turn 9 and 10 seems to have an advantage over people. Maybe he's a bit more aggressive. I don't quite know. It's Legendary. It seems like Legendary and Ropey having a battle now as Ropey breaks. He doesn't do what I can't remember for the life. Maybe it was Sire who went to take his long lap in front of Nelson and took him down in the last round, and Ropey, doing the right thing and braking quite conservatively, letting Legendary go past to make sure there's no form of accident in that moment. It seems like Ropey has actually failed his long lap. As we now end lap number 3, Aaron Jacko extends the gap by about 1.5 tenths over the Malaysian, as Rolls still can't find a way past Hitstick. He's only been in the podium position for like maybe 1,000th of a second, something like that. But he's going to turn underneath the KTM, but Hitstick just placed himself in the right way, but he's got on the curb. That's going to really disturb his braking. But he brakes harder than the Aprilia, and the KTM has got it stopped. But Rolls going to turn underneath into turn 5, but it's just not the kind of corner where he can pull it, kind of overtake off. He goes into turn 6. Rolls is going to be really careful now. He's got only one more warning left in the bank before he gets a long lap penalty. His Moxie now is gone extremely wide through turn 6 and has lost out to Q Gamer, who's recovering from his crash earlier. Whether that was whether he was helped or it was done by himself. Still nothing from race direction, so I'd assume. Oh, and Hitstick's gone wide. Hitstick goes wide, and Rolls is going to move into 3rd place. He barges his way past it to make sure he gets on the curb there, and Rolls moves into 3rd, and he's gone on the inside curb, and that was nearly curtains, sorry, for Rolls there. But and Hitstick's gone down at turn 13, easily done. If you just hit the curb or you just put bit too much brake pressure on the overheating front. The front overheats on the right hand side, and the wear is extremely bad around here. It's not that difficult to go down. But Rolls now, he's got to be careful. He's one warning away from a long lap. Aaron Jacko, he has got 2 warnings so far. Hadif is the only rider not to have received a track limits warning. So Hadif, between Aaron Jacko and Hadif, it's going between 4 to 7 tenths depending on the sector, and by the end of the lap you're looking about 6 or 7 tenths. So Aaron's just doing what needs to be done so far. Hard braking into turn 8 once more. The rear steps out ever so slightly, but it's still pretty much in line. Aaron doing a great job so far. Rolls seems to be maintaining the pace at the front, so he's got the same pace, but obviously he's lost all that time trying to pass Hitstick and Q Gamer at the start, coming from 9th place. It'll be interesting to see how this race progresses with the tyre wear, because as I said, the front end particularly wears out on the right hand side. That's what cost me my results in the esport race. So we'll see who's. And that's the first mistake we've seen from Aaron Jacko, running a bit wide on the exit of turn 13, and now Hadif's in slipstream range. But that can actually help Aaron in a weird way, because that'll just change Hadif's braking markers and change the way his front tyre will feel. But yeah, the right. So if you can look after the right hand side of the front tyre, you should be able to maintain your lap time to be about half a second off your personal best. If you're really good at saving that tyre and you can manage the front end for testing a lot. As Constante and Moxie have both received long lap penalties for track limits. The first ones, and I'm sure more are on Hitstick's gone as well. Hadif making a big mistake there on the exit of turn 4, outbraking himself, running wide over the curb, and has gone from being 3 tenths behind Aaron to 6 tenths in just 2 sectors. And Rolls there in the background, the gap is 2.8 seconds between him and Aaron. That's basically the same gap that it was a lap ago, so I think, or maybe just a little bit bigger. So Aaron, currently the fastest rider on circuit, despite making mistakes, but he's made the least amount of mistakes out of all the riders so far. As Q Gamer has moved into 4th place as Costante takes his long lap penalty and has done it successfully on the factory Aprilia. Let's see, Mogsy, I'm assuming he doesn't take it this lap round, okay. So, Hadif. I wish you could see the tyre wear. But now the gap has gone up to 1 second for the first time in this race. Also, you got the cold tire. Oh, Rolls has gone down. Rolls has fallen the victim to turn 15, mate. I don't really like when the temperatures are quite cold and you run a hard front tire into turn 15, you just lose the front. So I don't know if that's happened. I guess my guess would be he hit the curb wrong and he went down. It's a big mistake by the new champion, and now that leaves Hadif and Aaron Jacko to fight for the victory. As Rolls is sat up by his new teammate for this weekend. As Dreaded Head is not here, as Rolls forces his way back up the inside at turn 4, but Constante is going to go back up the inside of turn 5 into turn 6, and Rolls, remember, he's got to be careful of track limits, and he's just done enough. Oh no, he hasn't, because he's at the curb, and Constante's outdrove him and took back 4th place. But Rolls is going to go up the inside into turn 8, but he's going to get all crossed up, and Constante's held him off, but Rolls is going to get the better exit out of the two side by side as they approach turn 9 and 10. Oh, and Constante forces Rolls to set the bike up. And Rolls just lost out, but he's going to get the slip. He's got the run into Cavone. No way. He goes up the inside and he makes the move stick at Cavone. A really good move there by the champion. And Constante he 4-bar move there into turn 13. You don't want to do that. That's a really big error unless they run wide. Trying to go up the inside at turn 13 is the worst possible place you could probably think of an overtake here. As Davies and Moggs, the two Welsh riders on the Monster Energy Yamaha, fighting for 6th and 7th, but I'm pretty sure Moggsy will lose out to that position shortly. As Rolls he's got lucky there. He's not got the long lap penalty yet. Aaron is still 1 second ahead of Skydeef. It's yo-yoing now between probably 9/10 and 1.2 seconds. So Aaron, hang on, Aaron's made a mistake through turn 4, and that's gone back down to 7/10. So Aaron, he was doing such a good job. Now it's 5/10, and it's all it takes. The front tyre now, you get into a stage where it's overheating. Even if it is colder conditions, the tyre will still overheat. And the amount of wear, and especially if it's colder, but it's colder, you might get a bit of cold tear on the left hand side of the tyre, making the tyre wear worse on the left hand side as Rolls goes up the inside of Q Gamer into turn 8, but he's going to run wide, and the Dutchman's going to retake the place and get the better exit. But Rolls is going to sit the bike up early, get the better exits, and he pretty takes 3rd place for another time. But Q Gamer is going to force his way through, and Q Gamer's got himself a long lap penalty in the process for the corner cut. And if Rolls isn't careful, Constante and Rolls, both of them are one warning away from a long lap penalty themselves. So these guys are going to be careful. I mean, these guys, apart unless they have like crashes, it's going to be between these 3 for the podium places. Constante close to a long lap penalty again into the Caro hairpin. And Constante onto grass, taking the corner so tight, and he's got all crossed up and down. He's got a long lap penalty. So if Rolls can corner cut somewhere within the next few corners, it'll be a trifecta of long lap penalties for all these 3, and just made that race even more interesting than it already is. And Aaron Jack has got the gap back up to over a second, and Rolls goes up the inside of Q Gamer to turn 1. Lovely move. I thought that was going to end in disaster for Q Gamer at the front end, but the Dutchman holds on. Now Rolls, his favourite place in the early part of the race, the corner cut, was at turn 6. So we'll just wait and see if I'm pretty sure he's going to take that more careful. Oh, as Q Gamer looks up the inside. And yeah, Rolls making sure he doesn't hit the green there. Rolls in a place to take a podium spot, but he's had a massive wheelie on the exit of turn 6 through turn 7, now into turn 8. Will Q Gamer look up the inside? Yes, he will. He's up the inside into the hairpin. Rolls is wide anyway, but Rolls is going to cut it underneath the LCR Honda and retakes 3rd place for now. Let's see, Q Gamer and Constante, no, they do not take the long lap penalties yet, as Aaron Jack has extended the gap now to 1.3 seconds over Hadif, 1.4. So it seems like in the late race pace, let's know he's gone down again. Late race pace, Aaron Jacko's got it in the bag so far, but there's still, when they cross the line, 5 more laps to go in this race. Oh, Constante's gone up the inside of Q Gamer and he forces him off the track and he's gone down. I said turn 13 is not a place you want to be making a move, and well, that's why. Because it either ends in disaster for you or for somebody else. So 5 laps remaining. Roll just basically got a free ticket there. He's still got a long lap penalty to possibly in waiting, but Costante definitely has, and he's. I'm pretty sure his tactic now will be try and disturb Rhodes as much as possible, put him under pressure. But Rhodes will know that he has a long lap penalty, and with Q Gamer down the road, he's also got to take a long lap penalty. I think that's what it's going to be, unless Rhodes goes down and picks up a long lap penalty. Costante. Getting close to the back. Let's see, will he take? No. He's got the rear wheel crossed up. Oh god, he's done what I did in the race. When you lose front end grip, you brake harder, and the engine braking just takes over at that point, and because you've got no grip, you've got relying on the grip of the rear, and the rear's got no grip either, and you're shifting down the box maybe a little bit too quick, maybe accidentally shifting to first gear, or just shifting down a bit too quick from 4th or 5th gear to 2nd. And that's all it takes to lock the rear up, and a big mistake. But Q Gamer's closed the gap down by over a second in the past lap. So fired from that crash he had a lap ago. He's on a charge here. He doesn't want to take he's going to take his long lap. I'd imagine at the latest possible time, which is probably going to be this next lap. As Aaron 2.3 seconds over Hadif now with 4 laps remaining. Oh, Q Gamer's hit the curb at turn 2 and he's gone down, and that's definitely his podium charge over for now. And Aaron Jacko, let's look at him, doing a fantastic job. He's only made a couple of mistakes, but as soon as we've hit the halfway stage, he's at the stronger pace over Hadif. The Prima Pramac Racing rider is taking 2 second places so far this season. He hasn't had a win in honestly, I can't remember his last win. I'll have to ask him, assuming he wins. At least I'll have to ask him after the race anyway, because it's definitely going to be a long time since he took a victory. I can't remember what bike he was on when he took his last victory. But Hadif, he's closed the gap down by 5 tenths on this lap, 6 tenths on this lap. So I don't know if Aaron's decided to back off, or maybe the grip's now swinging the other way for Hadif, and he's getting the best of his tyres now. As we start the 3rd to last lap. Just about 4.5 minutes left of this race for these two. Who's going to be victorious? It should be Aaron, but it's not as simple as that. And Costante has chosen, and Q Game have opted to not take their long lap penalties, so they'll be getting an extra 3 seconds added to their lap time. But to be honest, I don't think that's going to make a huge deal of difference to them, because they are 8 seconds ahead of Mogsy and 4 seconds and 11 seconds ahead of Jay Davies, who's also got to take a long lap penalty anyway. So I don't think they've got too much to worry about. They've only got to worry about themselves, and I don't think. Yeah, that's going to make a whole difference. I think the top 3 is sort of set, unless something goes dramatically wrong, as Aaron Jacko runs quite deep into turn 10. And the gap is 1.6 seconds still. And the bike is starting to move about as the grip's going, and Costante's gone down for a second time in this race, and Q Gamer retakes 4th. So heading towards Misano to turn 16, and we start the penultimate lap of this race. Aaron Jacko leads the race by 1.8 seconds over Sky Hadif. The RNF Racing rider's taken 2 feature race wins and 1 sprint win this season. He's looking to make it his 4th victory of the season, including sprints. And Legendary and Ropey are having... Oh, and I've just gone to Ropey, and he's had a massive crash through Cavone, and that puts him down into last place, and he's got a long lap penalty as well for his troubles, as these two now fight for 4th place. And Aaron Jacko's dropped the gap to 1.2 seconds, so he's obviously made a mistake into turn 4, I'd assume. And you do not want to be giving Sky Hadif the little bit of hope that he can nab the victory at the end of the race. As a roll is 4.4 seconds out ahead of Q Gamer, but Q Gamer's now got Costante behind him. And he's ran his tail. Skydiff now is 1.1 seconds behind Aaron. It was 2.3 seconds only a few laps ago. What's going to happen in these final this final lap? And the gap's now shrink to 1 second, and this is where Aaron's going to be riding. I can imagine Aaron's going to be riding a little bit tight. He's just going to ride nice and relaxed for these final 17, soon to be 16 corners as we start the final lap. Restart the final lap now. 1 second the gap between Aaron and Skydiff. Can Hadif do anything on this final lap? It's going to take a big mistake from Aaron. Aaron's just going to ride nice and relax. His heart's going to be pounding, his hands are going to be shaking. He hasn't won in forever. Aaron, just riding like you have done all race. Victory can be yours. It should be yours, but the gap's now... Oh, and he's from really wide through turn 4, taking too much margin. And J Davies has gone down as well. Heading towards turn 7, even though this is not even a corner, into turn 8, hard on the brakes. Ooh, the front end having a little bit of a bobble as we head towards turn 9 and now 10. Hold your breath. The rear can lock up, the front can lock up. Aaron's run really well, but so is Hadif. Not many corners to go now. Aaron, who's done a perfect job since taking the lead of the race. He lost it for a brief few corners, but he regained it instantly, and he's never lost it since. As Q Gamer and Costante having a huge battle. Fourth place Aaron into the Cairo hairpin. And Hadif's gone down! Hadif's gone down at turn 14, and that's going to hand Aaron the win as he heads towards the final corner. Aaron Jacko, you are back on the top 7 of the podium after 2 really close fought second places. Aaron Jacko wins here in Misano. Hadif, after that mistake, will finish in 2nd place. Rolled, despite having to stop from 9th, having a huge battle with a number of riders, having maybe a long lap penalty scare early on. He comes across the line to finish in 3rd. Oh, and Q Gamer's lost the rear at the final corner. Costante is going to finish in 4th place. And Q Gamer is going to finish in 5th, but he does have a long lap penalty, so that is going to mean that Mugsy is going to take the 5th place from Q Gamer. So there's another top 5 finish for Mugsy. Legendary is not going to finish, and that's how it's going to end up.
In a moment, we'll go live to Park.
Jacko takes the win, and Skydiff in 2nd, Rolled is 3rd, Costante 4th, Mugsy 5th, Q Gamer 6th, Legendary 7th, J Davies 8th, and Ropey in 9th. So we will now move on to the interviews for the top 3. We'll start with Rolled. So Rolled, unfortunately had some Wi-Fi issues, so you could not make it to the qualifying session. But the race for you seemed quite hectic. You had a big battle with Q Gamer, Costante, and there was somebody else, and Hitstick as well, at the opening few laps of the race. But you managed to survive all of it and finish in 3rd place. So how was the race for you?
Yeah, things got hectic for a minute. Definitely started off on the back foot. I wasn't able to get as much qualifying or practice this week as I wanted to, so was already feeling not too confident in my speed, but I was able to make my way towards the front, put all my skills to use to try and make some clean passes and not get held up. But Aaron and Hadif just were on a different level today. I had nothing for them. Their speed was incredible, and I'm happy to bring it home on the podium. And yeah, overall, a pretty decent race.
Yeah, so congratulations on another podium finish.
Thank you.
So we then move on to Hadif. So you did a fantastic job. You kept Aaron under pressure for all the race, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. But second place, so you must be happy with that finish.
Yeah, the race is very good for me, and I was so struggling with the tires and the sliding in the corner, so I can on the lap number 13 I start to push to get Aaron, but I made some mistake and I crashed, so yeah, we stay on the podium. Yeah, I want to say good job for Aaron for his victory, and yeah, see you on the final round on Mandalika.
Yep, see you, and good luck for
Yeah, thank you.
for the Rising Stars as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So we move now to the race winner. It's been quite a long time coming. Aaron, this had a lot of essence of your win from Termas that I remember a couple of seasons ago. You got to the front after a not poor start, but Q Gamer, I don't know what he had, but he had an amazing start. And you'd made a couple of mistakes here and there, but you held on, you held your nerve, and you didn't make any big mistake, and you brought home a fantastic victory. So congratulations. Yeah, so I think that result actually now put you second in the championship, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you're 1 point behind. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so congratulations on your victory, and best of luck for the final round in Mandalika. So that has been it for round number 11 for these guys. Round 12 will be in Mandalika next week. And if that's hot conditions, the front tyre they'll be having a lovely time on that front end, especially to turn 16. And yeah, we'll be back in an hour for Division 1, guys, and we'll see you then. Goodbye.